Turning black.
What? Omegalos in chat. Kick W's.
Now, I've shown this film to several people, and they all said it's racist and impolite. But I feel like there's a real truth to what Monsieur Kassovitz is trying to say in this movie. You see, when I was a kid, I had dreams as well. It was 1996, and I just watched Michael Jordan get his 4th ring after winning the most amount of regular
Nappy ass armpit hair.
season games of all time.
Bro, you know that nigga pube hair, his little dick hair, fucking nappy too.
And I just watched
if your
Michael
armpit hair
Jordan
nappy, GG's. Yo, dick hair is fucking GG's.
And for some reason, I felt like I could be like him. I could be like Mike. I was entering high school that fall, and even though I hadn't picked up a basketball ever up until then, I thought that I could make the team because I thought I could be like Mike. I tied up my 11s and headed to the gym, only to be met with Goliaths with fully formed muscles that were doing practice dunks. It's like they were gods on earth.
You know what's crazy? That was my welcome to the NBA moment, bro. That was my welcome to you're a bitch ass nigga moment. When I went to high school and when I was in like tryouts or sports related shit or hanging with niggas. And niggas were just awk. Like it was just like I was like a little bitch around a bunch of grown ass men, nigga. Like I was dead 97 pounds in high school in freshman year. I was like 5'8", 97 pounds my freshman year, bro. Skinny as fuck. And those niggas like 6 feet, 200, benching 3 plates as a freshman. I'm just like, what the fuck? Did you shoot them? No, I didn't shoot them. Why would I shoot them? Nigga, I was 95 pounds, 5'3". The kids were for sure on steroids, but some kids just were like just naturally like just big. Like Jeremy. Bro, that's the only reason why Broderick slammed my ass, bro. It was freshman year, I was probably, by that time, it was like winter break, so I got to like probably like 101 pounds. Broderick weighed like, he's like one of them big, he was like probably 205 or some shit, bro.
I saw this one kid, black of course, go up for a one-handed tomahawk with his tongue out and the same 11s I had on.
But I started working out before that.
I saw wings coming out of his back. I never wore those shoes again, and my NBA dreams died before I ever stepped on a court.
Oh, that's tough.
You see, Michael Jordan's impact not only transcended America, but the entire world. With games being broadcasted worldwide for the first time ever, and with Michael Jordan entering his prime in the most marketable era, every kid was sticking their tongue out going out for layups, wearing their short shorts to expose their knees, and obviously wearing Jordans. And I'm not talking about just American kids doing this. I'm talking about kids from Europe and Asia, kids that have never seen a black person before, imitating his airness. Hell, even Kim Jong-un can resist being a Michael Jordan fan.
Lip, smile, and widen your eyes.
When he spent his adolescence in Switzerland, all he would talk about was Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and only wear Nike tracksuits, no jeans. And I know that Kim Jong-un is a lot of things to a lot of people, but you can't really say he's racist if he wants to be like Mike. Even I suffered from this a little growing up. I remember playing pickup basketball and a black kid dapped me up, and I was like, God damn, he's the same race as Michael Jordan. And I got starstruck a little bit. Granted, I was 14.
Wait.
Even I suffered from this a little growing up. I remember playing pickup basketball and a black kid dapped me up, and I was like, God damn, he's the same race as Michael Jordan. And I
Yo, imagine having like, bro, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's, first of all, that is the craziest form of glaze I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's incredible glaze. Even though you was legit, I've never seen a glaze, such a glazatron in my life. But second, that is crazy. Nigga looked at him like he was a foreign creature.
I got starstruck a little bit. Granted, I was 14, but this is probably the same time.
14? Okay. 14 is young, but 14 is like, you have a brain. There's no way you looked at a black person who like at 14 years old, like, oh my God, he's the same color as Michael Jordan. What the fuck? I'm thinking like 8 years old or something. 9 or 10 or something.
Type of interaction that made Jack Harlow want to pursue rapping as well. And this leads to some cultural observations I've noticed growing up around minorities. Most of the kids that I'm friends with are of darker skin tones, ranging from Indians to Africans to even Filipino people. And the N-word constantly gets thrown around over and over again in these communities, even if some of the people that are saying it aren't black. When Nav, who's a rapper of Indian origin, received backlash for saying the N-word in his songs,
yo, does Nav got the pass, bro?
he said that in his multicultural neighborhood of Rexdale, Ontario, everyone was saying the N-word as well. Now, just because some kids are saying the N-word to their friends doesn't outright mean they're racist.
Yo. Chat, if white people came out with a word that only they could say, are you saying it? Like, and it was like drippy, are you saying it? Like, only we could say it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking that shit. Fuck they gonna do?
They just think it's cool because the black people they see on TV
Yo.
are cool. But they're not gonna admit that because it's racist. With so many black stars becoming greats at the most important things to Americans, sports, music, and movies, there's a generation of kids that grow up seeing these greats perform and forming perceptions that aren't
There's
racist.
in movies that got a picture of Will
problematic.
Smith smacking
Let me
the
explain.
fuck out that nigga.
Michael Jordan's impact off the court was actually pretty terrible. He was a degenerate gambler, never was into social politics, never really gave a fuck about anything other than basketball. But his greatness made up for it. He made black
I love
people
that shot.
cool,
Oh my god.
but for the wrong reasons. It gave a generation of black kids the idea that if you want to make it as a black man in America, you either got to be a basketball player or a rapper. The whole concept of we gonna make it out the hood came from this. And all the model minorities like the Asians and the Indians looked to black people in their stardom and was starstruck by them, while they were forced to stay in school and become doctors and lawyers. But the problem is only a few black people actually make it out the hood. So even though we see black athletes and musicians and
Kobe Bean Bryant with that bean head, you know what I'm saying? Big ass bean on his head,
make
bean
huge
head
waves
ass nigga.
internationally, a disproportionate amounts stay poor and unemployable as well. And in turn, the model minorities that were forced to stick through school, who dreamed of also becoming basketball players and rappers, but couldn't because they had loving parents and defective genetics, idolized black people, but only the ones that were successful. And it's not like they didn't care about black issues either. It's just all they saw was the cool black people and they wanted to replicate it. This is where Charles Barkley came in with one of the most profound commercials I've ever seen.
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
This commercial directly contrasts the I want to be like Mike stardom campaign that made Michael Jordan the most marketed athlete of all time. At the time, Michael Jordan was at the top of the world and they were calling him Black Jesus. But Chuck was saying, yo, don't look up to me. I'm a basketball player. Go be a doctor. Go be a lawyer. He got a lot of backlash for this because it directly contrasts the campaign that Nike was running with Michael Jordan at the top of the world, as well as shitting on the fans that were buying the shoes, putting up the posters, and wanting to be
Killing this nigga in the ones.
like Mike. But hey, Chuck's right. Not everyone can make the NBA. I learned that very quickly in my life. But even with Chuck saying that he's not a role model, the legacy that he and other basketball players left behind is tremendous, because that's just how much we value basketball players and other icons in America. Because even though Michael Jordan was a
I'm killing this bum ass nigga in the ones too. Come on, this nigga right here. Killing this nigga right here. Nigga's a bum.
degenerate gambler and never really helped the issue, the fact that he was black perpetuated a lot of other black culture on the map. But if you still don't believe me, here's a great example. Just look at the cultural impact that Michael Jordan has, being the greatest of all time for black people, and just look at how like pretty much most First Nations.
Sure, buddy. I said this white dude right here. I'm killing that nigga.
Degenerate gambler and
whack.
never really helped time for black people, and just look at how like pretty much most First Nations get wiped out. Just like no one cares about them. There's like this whole road in British Columbia called the Highway of Fears, where indigenous people just go missing and they just die, and no one cares. No one gives a fuck. That's because indigenous people suck at basketball. It's that simple.
Yeah. Like, what's going on, man?
This is why you're fucking person.
I thought you were about to say something like insightful.
I thought Ram was going to say something somewhat profound, and then he just ends it with, he says,
Interesting.